Yes, this was a good one. Let's move on.
Oh man, this fight, Al, just unbelievable performance. Brandon Moreno, 2 minutes, 26 seconds of round number 3, submits the never before finished Deiveson Figueiredo. We have a hashtag and new champion at flyweight. My God, Al, there's really, this summarizes the whole fight. That's the worst Deiveson Figueiredo we've ever seen. That was the best Brandon Moreno we've ever seen. And this fight wasn't close. One-way traffic. All Brandon Moreno. Wow. I am incredibly impressed. I bet Deiveson Figueiredo goes in here and absolutely we see the best version, a vastly better guy than we saw the first time these guys fought. Totally flips the script. It's Moreno that's improved. It's Moreno that's better. Deiveson, like I said, the worst we've seen him, in my opinion, never gets it going. Just incredibly limited success in any capacity. Brandon Moreno comes in here, wins the first 2 rounds, finishes it in the third. Unbelievable performance. The first Mexican-born champion in UFC history. Yeah, you got to put some respect on his name, man. Brandon Moreno, just an incredible performance. A young dude, a guy that went from cut from the UFC, now the champion, a guy who was the last pick on the Ultimate Fighter, lost in the first round of the Ultimate Fighter, submitted by Alexandre Pantoja, and now this guy is the flyweight champion of the world. A couple years after being cut. Crazy dramatic growth. I talked about it leading up to this fight, man. Brandon Moreno gets better between every fight. Dramatic growth. We saw it yet again. He hits another level, and he's just the better man than Deiveson Figueiredo was tonight. And it wasn't close. Brandon Moreno wins. Al, again, got to give you props on this one, my man, because you totally had Moreno, didn't you?
Yeah, I had Moreno, and I had the under. Because
the double dip, man, I gotta get Al, man, you called it from day one. You just said that value was on Moreno. Good work, my dude.
Yeah, this was I had no idea that this was going to happen. Although I said it in my the best bets video that I put out last night. I said, how do we know, if we saw a diminished Figueiredo the last time, how do we know that we don't see a diminished one again? And I feel like, yeah, we did. And I feel like, that first round, probably the weakest round of Figueiredo's title reign. And that second round was pretty competitive, but, it wasn't Figueiredo. Figueiredo usually has that with just his range and just with the threat of his power, he's able to just walk his opponent down. And he didn't have that. He's got that killer instinct look in his eye. He didn't have that. He didn't, he looked defeated. He looked like he was really he wasn't hesitant to give the cage away, to give the space away in the octagon. He was really he was conceding space. He was backing up. I haven't seen that since maybe that fourth round in the last fight where Moreno was landing some shots on him and having him backed up. But as far as to start a fight, I don't think I've ever seen him, on the back foot like that, because that was it was eye-opening because, yeah, it was. And Moreno, I don't think he's lost since he's come back from being cut, right? Since he lost.
Oh, yeah, no, he's undefeated since coming back.
He did have that draw. I think he had two. He's had 2 draws, actually.
You're right. Yeah, he had the draw to Askarov, who's another dude. They're gonna fight again. That's just for sure.
So yeah, and again, the reason that I feel like Figueiredo kind of just he got impatient with Moreno's style. Moreno has that hilarious Mexican fighting style where he shrugs and he puts his chin out basically on a platter just to set up that that counter uppercut, in which he hit him with a couple of good times, and especially like the weave uppercut, and he just had him. He had him timed perfectly, and I thought that it was that type of thing where he was going to be able to watch tape, figure out his tendencies, and the kid's like he's just he reminds me of like he's one of those like trying to think of like Hector Camacho. He's just not in his personality at all, just in the way that he fights. He's so flamboyant. He's so like the subtle little things that he does, where like a guy will swing at him and he evades it, and he'll just do the shrug. Everything that he does is so it's so flashy, and his style is just, I don't know. I feel like when he's on, he's gonna be very tough to beat, because I don't know if they're gonna book the rematch. I feel like they should, but it would be so UFC for them not to. And then the thing about Figueiredo should probably move up to bantamweight and not kill himself, and probably retire the Mission Impossible song, so that it's not he's not cutting 45 pounds to get to 125 pounds. So yeah, Brendan Moreno, man, plus 550 inside the distance. So he's won 4 of his 11 UFC fights by stoppage, and 18.7 units on the inside the distance prop in his UFC career on just four stoppage wins. And that's basically the reason that I was on him on the money line, because when he's just a perennial underdog. He comes through when no one expects it, and this was just one of those spots where I was I just envisioned. I didn't envision that. I didn't envision him Figueiredo getting choked out, but I envisioned just him being able to be the better fighter, and he was. And I would love to see them fight again. But with Brendan Moreno, he's because he's Mexican, he's going to be a hero for life now. Like beyond money. Money can't buy what he just won tonight as being the first Mexican-born UFC fighter, UFC champion. Like this is next level stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. He's going to be a tough guy to knock off going forward.
Yeah, and if he continues to get better, I mean, he's already got the belt. If he continues to get better at the rate he is, like, wow. The limit, it's the sky. Sky's the limit for this kid. Just ultra impressed, man. Here's some interesting stuff, man. Dana White just said at the post-fight press conference, he said this fight coming into this week, he thought Moreno had no chance. I mean, I couldn't believe it. He really thought Deiveson Figueiredo's coming in here and whooping this dude's ass. And that's just interesting to hear from Dana White. You don't really ever hear Dana giving you that kind of a take. So it's interesting stuff, man. But yeah, I mean, Al, you brought it up before we went live. Man, have you seen a guy ever so happy to hand a belt over? I feel like there's an element of Figueiredo. I feel like Flyweight's done. Like him having to have that belt, him having to hit 125, such a burden. I think that probably affects him every day in his life. Man, move up to 135, live a little bit more comfortably. You'll still be a big guy at 135. I think, I really do. I said before this fight, leading up, I think this is the last hurrah for Figueiredo at 125. He's an older guy now. He's on the wrong side of 30. The weight cuts just continue to get tougher. He just was not the same guy tonight. Terrible weight cut in the last fight. Makes weight, but just doesn't seem to be the same tonight. I think this guy needs to make the move to 135. And we may be looking at a new reign, man. We may be looking at a new reign. Moreno looked just absolutely fantastic. Who can beat this kid right now? I don't know, but we do have some up and comers, man, and it's going to be good. Is there anything you want to say about this one, Al, before we go to the main event?
I just want to say quickly, I talked about it in the best bets video that I did, and the streak of Deiveson Figueiredo cheating continued tonight. If you saw him, grabbing onto the cage to as he was getting pulled down,
loves to cheat.
Every single fight, every single title fight he's been in, he's cheated. So in one way or another, I mean, I guess the headbutt, you can't call it cheating, but these things just tend to happen with Figueiredo. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. I would like, you got to put him at 135. At him at 135, man. Oh, throwing him in there and that.
So many fresh matchups. That sounds so much better than this guy continuing to have disastrous, horrific cuts to 125.
Yeah, and he has cred, right? He can get the McGregor treatment where he fights one fight and he ends up in the top 5, right?
He gets a big fight right off the bat. He's
exactly.
thrown right in the mix of the top 10. Absolutely. I think so. Ex-champ street cred, man. You're totally right.